and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. So in this tutorial, I want to load an image and painting over with strokes over image by using Flame Painter Pro. So let's try to do this. First, what I want to do is loaded my reference image. And I can do this by clicking on Import or Control Shift O. Okay, after you select your image, it will appear in your layout, so you can scale to the proper size you want to use. And I'm just using maybe around this size. Let's click OK. Again, this is my reference image. Resolution 1000 by 1000 I can increase, but for the tutorial, just leave it right here. I probably can zoom in and out to create a closer stroke with a brush as I need it. Before I actually begin with this, I want to go ahead and set my brush as I like it. I will use the flame brush as my basic brush to begin with. Before I do this, I want to create a new layer. For these tutorials, I'm going to create a vector layer so I can modify my brush and see changes. If you don't have a vector, you can try different, create new layer and use the raster brush with the testing what settings you like it. So right here, I'm start by creating this follow contour line. Here's my basic line, and I want to modify some of the settings. So first, I want to reduce the size, increase pain. Maybe, keep its softness around there. And you can modify and see which one is settings will work best for you. Let's bring center away. It's a outside, you remember, and focus in, so we'll keep it kind of more inside, spreading and have these flames going out. Chaos, it's again as global, just increase, and maybe just a little bit noise for the local. As well, I want increase fade, so right here ends and beginning will be kind of smoother together. The currently mode is lighting. You can switch to normal to preview, but remember, if I create new layer and start painting over this layer in raster, my blending mode between each strokes will apply as a normal, not as the you wanted lighting or darken. You can switch after blending mode for all layers, but not for the brush strokes itself. So in this case, I'm going right now select lighting. So it's all what I'm going to use. At this time, I'm going to create new layer of rasting. The reason is why I'm using rasting, not everything in vector, because if you notice right here, we have it a vector, and I drew once and I start drawing second time. Now what's happened, my vector is disappear and I have it another one. So with a raster, I can paint over and I can paint another ones on the same level. So let me remove those ones. Let's begin working on this. So right here, it's very simple. I'm just going to follow these contours of the outlines. Sometimes it's helpful if you just take this image and convert to the high pass. With high pass, you can easier trace them. So let's do this. Before draw, notice I have these pixels. And if my brush moving a lot on the beginning, so as my drawing will have a big start. However, if it's settle and I'm start doing like this, they will start with a smaller. Depend on what line you're going to do. You want maybe kind of spin your brush around before you start drawing, or let it settle and start drawing this way. So right here, for example, I'm just going to draw lines just around the contours. And again, if I'm going slow, I have the brighter effect. And if I'm going faster to creating of points, those points will create a little bit slower, a little bit more fade in. Okay, so we'll go right here, create it. And how I say right here, for example, I can spin and start creating this backdrop. You can see kind of like flaming effect. Okay, we'll go create right here. In this brush currently, I actually cannot release. I need to hold a little bit so they calm down, because if I move my brush away fast, it's still continue going. In this case, you can use your artistic freedom to create as image or as you want it. So, for example, we can add some of this lighting, go right here on his arm. But overall, keep it kind of intact of his effect. So right here, let's take his hair kind of more, add a flame effect. Okay, because it's action going from this point, I probably want to create a small lines up front and spread them on the back, so it's almost give me this effect. So if there is a way, I need to wait till it's come down and start drawing lines around here. Okay, there would accent leather line. So like right there. Okay, and you can kind of just create it almost like with a okay, let's go right here. We'll just create it lines. And of course, it's take a little bit more practice to do all this in a way you want it. So just if you again try again, if it doesn't work, erase. Remember, you have it undo, redo. So you can use those ones as well. And we can just add kind of flame going right there. Of course, if we even at this point, if we just take and disable, you can see we have an interesting painting of the jumping guy with flames. Of course, we need to add more details to the face, but you're getting kind of point how you can create additional effect on the person. Remember, if you don't want it, add some other, you can create new layers. You can create layers as many as you want it, and maybe just add more strokes, like with the hair going. You know, let's add some right here, add to the arms, kind of pointing right here. Let's make smaller them. Okay, almost like a hair. Okay, we can also add a little bit more details to the arm. And maybe just take a few swaps, go right there this way. Again, if you don't like it, Control Z will help you with this, and we'll just, there you go. So right here we have our flames applied. We can take this person and modify it, remove him in Photoshop, and some add effect, and probably it's what I'm going to do. Just go in Photoshop, just have some strokes applied on him and using slightly as a backdrop, so we'll have it some details. But again, to do this, right here we have our image. What we need to do, we're going to need to go save this, and we can save this two ways, and I'll go to do this, save with black background. And remember, we can save as PNG without just alpha transparency. So let's go ahead, save two images, just so we can see which one will work best for us. One with a black background and another one's as a PNG. Okay, so we here inside the Photoshop, this is image that I preloaded. And you notice right here we have two artworks. We have it one as the image with a black background, and we have another was as PNG. So for now, just let's go take PNG, and I'm click on the layer, drag and drop over other. If for some reason right here you notice our scale is wrong, let's go to modify the scale, and be sure you hold down Shift key so you scale properly when you're resizing them. And overall right here, we're almost done. So you don't need to be absolutely same size, just as long as you remember the contour will go around. So that's all what we needed. Okay, maybe around a little bit right here. Press enter, and right here we have our outline. So this is how it look with background. Again, I don't want to use this image. I want to actually preserve, have it almost like a flame, but I want to add small details on the face, textures, maybe around here. To do this, I'm going to use this image and convert this mode to the effect of the flame. So for now, let's just duplicate. Again, it's rasterized. It doesn't use it as a smart object at the time. So I'll use it as a rasterize at this point. Just duplicate and preserve it in case we need to reuse or something back. And I'm going to switch this to the actually hard line mode. So you can see right here, we have already this kind of nice hard effect. The next, let's convert this to high pass. High pass give it us interesting effect. Again, right here you can see preview before and with high pass, so we can apply it. However, some maybe work very well without, but I think with high pass we can add. And you can play a little bit with the settings. See which one will bring more interesting effect. I think this one about 15, maybe 9, about this one will work good. So we'll click OK. The next what I want to do is convert it to black and white and colorize after. Before do this, let's press Ctrl L so we access the levels, and I want to just take a little bit of these levels and compress them. So just kind of reduce some whites and blacks. Okay, let's click OK. Next we're going to, and it's already, you can see, look very interesting. We can use it adjustment, and we can go to directly hue and saturation, and using colorizer straight from here with reduce some lighting. And mostly I don't look on this one, I probably reduce, but just right around this area. Or if you want disable details, you can go directly in adjustments, go to the black and white, and first work with black and white to add little bit more, for example, highlights on yellows and other areas, and using colorizer afterwards. So it's up to you. Let's just copy this before we do use any colorizer, and we go to image adjustment, black and white. And as I said before, I just want to see yellows, just bring a little bit. Okay, this way. Next we go image adjustment, hue saturation, and enable colorization right here. So right now I want to take lightness and bring down. So just right a little bit on the faces. And we can look on saturation maybe around right here. Click OK. For this layer, let's create mask. And as a mask, I don't want some of this area, so we'll go to have it black 10 opacity. So just enable on my mask. And just example right here, we click on a mask, you can see I'm just start kind of reducing some details with the feet. Okay, keep it right here on the face. Let's zoom in. And maybe just slightly, so you can apply it. We can always bring one more layer under this if you think you're losing details, because we save it. And you can blend with these layers if you need bring more details, like on skin tone, or example just overall. But even right here, so far, you can see we have nice interesting image of the person we're creating with the flames applied, with some textures going over. Again, if you don't want it, you can go straight forward or otherwise. And if you don't use it, you can, if you just have a black one, say we take this layer. Okay, let's go to just copy that layer. We'll take it. Same things you can apply over, only in this case you can use it soft lights. Actually screen will work for that one. So you can use it screen mode, which is work similar to transparency. So it just, how to say, depend which one you like to use. Okay, so right here. Okay, so we have it this mode, or we can have it the other mode. You can always add a little bit blur to this. So we can have it filter, blur, simplification, blur. Okay, let's go to screen. So you can see it's add some little bit effect to this. And you know what, as we playing around with this, let's go create new layer. Okay, how to say, it's just as simple as what you can do. Okay, on this layer, let's go fill this layer with actually black color, and we'll set this layer to the screen. Okay, as well, you know, till we do this, let me create a reference. And I just press Ctrl Shift Alt E to combine all layers together. And I need this reference because if I want to add some lens flare, for example, we go to Red Giant Null Factory. Okay, I want to go right here and set my reference image. Also, let me go resize this so it won't be that big. And by the way, if you're interested in these tutorials on the lens flare, you can watch them for free at Geekatplay website as well. So we can just kind of add a little bit more effect, more flare to the right here. Actually, where's my 4-star? Okay, I'm just looking for the right one. Okay, I think this one may work. Better, so we can go right here. Let's create smaller size. Just kind of add some sparks to those hot places. Okay, I'll click OK. And we can again duplicate this layer if you want it. Take it, place it maybe in another areas. We can as well scale down a little bit. Okay, and just add small effects. Okay, let me actually create way smaller for this one, so we don't overwhelm. And again, I'm using Ctrl J to kind of create them. Okay, right here we can take a bigger one and add it right there. Kind of add some effect. Overall, you can see right here, it's what we created with the Painter Pro. You can add more effects and how so you can keep on going, add more details. But overall, here's techniques, and hopefully they will inspire to create some interesting images in Flame Painter Pro. And thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio.